Hey everyone, this is Chef Stephanie here at Turner Farms Teaching Kitchen. So you might have noticed that I have some beets on my cutting board today, and we're going to cover how to roast some beets. As you've noticed, we still have our greens on it. And if you have checked out my Swiss chard video yet or not, you might want to check that out. I cover basically how to cook Swiss chards in 2 different ways, and you can do the same exact thing with beet greens. So I'm just going to leave those to the side for now. First thing I've done is wash them thoroughly, and I've already done that, so you don't have to stare at me washing vegetables. So I'm just cutting off the greens, and I'm reserving them to either saute, maybe roast a little bit, maybe to put on a salad, who knows. You could peel them. I actually like leaving the skin on. A, has extra fiber, B, it keeps it kind of intact, and we don't end up with purple all over our hands. It's pretty nice. Just make sure that they're scrubbed very thoroughly. And I've already got a sheet tray with some foil on it. You don't need foil, but honestly, it makes a heck of a lot mess when you have foil, because basically you can just pick it up off the sheet tray, clean the sheet tray completely. So I'm going to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, which I'm not putting on it, but that's oil. And I'm going to wrap it up in the foil. What that's going to do is help actually steam the beets so that they get even more tender. And you could add some cumin, maybe some coriander. You can go crazy with the spice at this point. Some things I like to do with kids, which I think adults like this too, is you can change the foil shape and make it, you know, snake, swan, whatever you want. It's kind of fun. And we're going to put it into an oven about 350 degrees. Keep it in there for about 35 to 40 minutes. Depends on how big your beets are. If you got big beets, like the really big ones, and you haven't cut them up yet, you're going to want to cook them for a lot longer. But basically just cook them until they're tender. And we've got some TV magic. I've already roasted a few more beets than just 2. And I've let it cool down, so I'm not touching hot foil. Probably not a good idea. And you can see that they are pretty roasty at this point, and they're very tender. If you wanted to, you could check them with a fork or a knife. You want to make sure that the knife without any resistance. So I'm just taking them off the foil. As you can tell, I'd either recycle this foil or whatever and clean the sheet tray, but it's a much easier mess to take care of. And these beets, what I'm actually going to do is just slice them up a little bit, toss them with a little bit of mint, and just have a quick, simple beet salad. But you could do anything you want with them, to be honest, or you could just serve them as is. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the tops off from these, because I left some of the stems on them. And the bigger beets, I'm just going to cut into smaller pieces. You could either cut them in half or in quarters. The smaller ones I'll cut into halves, just so you can see that beautiful beet color. Pretty simple. And this you don't even need a bowl for this. You can put it straight into a serving dish. So we've got the beets. I've got some mint that I just picked off of my little mint collection behind me. You can see that they're really beautiful. They're from the farm. And what I normally do for mint, you didn't know you were getting a mint video out of this too. You're gonna stack them up, you're gonna roll them, and this is how I quickly chop them so that you don't have mint flying all over your cutting board. So, and you could go as thinly or as thickly as you'd like. You can also just tear up the mint. I've got a nice little serving dish here. I'm gonna, since I've got my cutting board right here, I'm just going to toss the mint with the beets, and I'll hit it with a little bit more olive oil. And you've got a really lovely, simple side dish. Enjoy. See you next time.